All right, I want to talk about that colossal idiot, Elon Musk. I've done videos on him before. He's a made up intellectual, made up innovator, made up uh, uh, genius. Uh, Musk, uh, Musk, he's a blithering idiot, and he basically received uh, a lot of his money and fortune first through his family, family who invested uh, several hundred thousand dollars. Uh, but the vast majority of his Tesla and other bullshit comes from subsidies and grants and uh, access to NASA and and technology like the lithium ion technology, which he basically was handed. Basically, everything that he's accredited, it was basically handed to him. Why? Because he had the because he got access. He had the uh, he was clever enough to do that. But that's a simple thing. He bribed his way to the so-called fortunes that he's and his business acumen. Uh, the innovations that his so-called company Tesla uh, is attributed to, it's because of the it's because he was clever enough to hire the true intellects, the true innovators. You know, that's Musk in a nutshell. That's the same thing with Bill Gates of Microsoft. Same thing with Apple. Same thing with uh, uh, Amazon. Jeff Bezos of Amazon. It's all a big scam, and so uh, so Musk uh, is worth something like 250 billion or 300 billion. And the thing is he made this comment that, hey, you can't you don't want to come after my money because, hey, I'm gonna get us to Mars and so on and so forth. And and if you tax me, they're gonna come after the middle class and the working class and everything. And I did it again. I'm using that whole class crap. There is no class. All right. We are all one. We should all come together. We should all understand who our enemy is. Who are the con artists? Who are the real criminals who scratch it and each other's back? Um, you know. Here's the thing. Even if Musk had $1 trillion, right, and he came by it legitimately, there is no way in hell that he, even with $1 trillion, even $100 trillion, there's no way he could get us to Mars. not in the time frame, because he's latched onto the climate breakdown, climate catastrophe, right? He's pushing that. He's pushing that. Not because it's not happening, because it is definitely happening. And you may not be the most brilliant person, but even with average intelligence, you can see it for yourself, and it's getting harder and harder to deny that it's happening, unless you are completely and utterly willfully being willfully ignorant. There's no way you can't miss it. So here's the thing: Mars, which is either, I believe Mars is is smaller than the moon, or about the size of the moon, our moon, okay? And so, uh, and it doesn't have any of the working inner parts that the Earth has. There's layers. There's the core. Uh, then there's another layer, and then there's another layer, and then there's the top layer, and all of it is moving and causing friction, right? And even the surface with the plate tectonics. So all of that is happening, and that creates the magnetosphere, helps to create the magnetosphere, along with the way the atmosphere, with the atmospheric movement, that all helps to create the magnetosphere. The magnetosphere is what keeps a lot of the asteroids and other debris, along with all the radiation that's all over the place, as well as solar flares and everything. That's what keeps us there, and it also holds the atmosphere in place. Mars has none of that. The gravity is far, far less. And if you know anything about astronauts who have spent 6 months or even a year, the bone density, as well as other things in the body, get affected. They get affected so badly that when they return, they have to spend time, because they can barely stand on their own. So while Mars may have a bit of gravity, here's the fact that it's uh, you're just not going to be you're going to get the deterioration in your bones, especially the marrow, which is within your bones, and so on and so forth. You just it's not you'll have physical, mental, and other uh, and other things, other health issues. And so there's that. But there's also the fact of you have to get there. And so right now, even if you were to use the fastest rocket, it would still take about 6 months to a year to get that. So now you're getting over there. We don't have artificial gravity, and so you go over there. And even if they uh, uh, use a system to create using kinetic force to create limited artificial gravity, you're still going to deteriorate. Your bones are still going to deteriorate. Your heart and all your lungs, everything is going to be affected. So you get over there, and then you're going to have the same issue when you arrive on Mars. The atmosphere, which is almost non-existent. There's almost no magnetosphere to prevent asteroids and other stuff. It's like, this whole idea of building colonies on the moon. Well, you still have to you have to figure out how to stop the radiation. You have to figure out how to stop all the matter like asteroids and comets and other debris in space from hitting the moon, and so on and so forth. And even if you do build underground on the moon, you'd have to go really deep. And the thing is that the moon, a good portion of the moon's surface is powder. And that would help, but when it's that, but when you're talking about the speeds of impact from debris in space hitting the moon, you're talking like 60,000 miles an hour, and our fastest rockets are like 30,000 or more, slightly more. That's you're talking massive. So there's a lot of stuff, but we just don't have the technology. We don't have the techniques or the materials and everything else. It's absurd. And so Musk has just gotten on the bandwagon with everybody else. But you talk to actual serious scientists and people who have some common sense. What it is you're putting your eggs. You're putting the eggs in a basket without actually. Or you're putting a cart before the horse. Better yet, a cart won't move without a horse or people or some way to move, make it move. So, and Musk's talking about as if they come up as if the Congress and the government will never do it. Not without our forceful, we coming together forcefully to say, hey, enough is enough. It just won't happen. The government does not. And you know what? I'm not even going to call it the government because it's not. Because what it is we have a bunch of political mafia, who serves the corporate mafia, the wealthy mafia. And so, I know for a fact I don't have the money to pay more taxes, and I'm already stretched thin, and great many of us are at the point, where we're so stressed thin. It's it, it's ridiculous to try to equate our levels with theirs. You know, um, so it's yeah. Don't buy the nonsense, and don't buy the nonsense that you think if you think you're gonna become a Musk or Bill Gates or a Jeff Bezos. It's not happening. It's not happening. Uh, unless you have access to hundreds of thousands of dollars and you have the connections and you can bribe your way, uh, it's just not going to happen. And even then, it's probably not going to happen because you might have hundreds of thousands of dollars, access to hundreds of thousands of dollars, but the simple fact of the matter is you don't have the connections. You don't have access unless you get really, really lucky. But these people, uh, these people have an avarice, uh, a calculation to make sure that uh, uh, that uh, they basically make sure that they stay on top. And when Musk says you know you shouldn't allow them to come after his billions, he's basically saying I'm protecting myself and fuck you, fuck the rest of you. Because if I'm going to have it my way because I'm the richest man in the world, and I'm going to see to it that there's no one who can threaten me and my cohorts uh, of the so-called wealthy corporate and political mafia, because that's basically what he's saying. And Bill Gates says the same thing. Jeff Bezos says the same thing. Pierre Midiar says the same thing. Uh, so it's it's a fantasy and illusion. And the quicker we understand this, the quicker we understand that it is for our collective uh, safety, security, and under solidarity, collective solidarity, we simply will continue to lose. We will continue to sacrifice unnecessarily our our collective security, and we will lose our self determination, our will, our collective will, and you know and we will come to find too late that our values, the ones we talk about, freedom, equality, justice, self determination, liberty, that it doesn't exist for us unless we take it collectively uh, and hold the real criminals to account. And that's what it boils down to. That simply boils down to that. If we don't stop listening to them and and ignorantly and willfully allowing them to pit ourselves against each other, no matter your skin color, the shape of your eyes, or the so-called ethnicity and race and all that other bullshit, we will be divided, and they will continue to conquer, and they will continue to move, and we will continue to allow them to move, to gain more control. That's how it works. That's what it means. And we have to stop being complacent. We have to stop. Uh, we have to stop bickering like willfully ignorant children, uh, fighting over the over. You know, here's an ironic. Here's an ironic story from my earlier childhood. Me and my brother, uh, we fought over a two-wheel tricycle. That's right, a two-wheel tricycle when we were kids, and that's basically what we're doing collectively. And it doesn't matter if you call yourself a liberal. If it doesn't matter if you call yourself a conservative. It doesn't matter if you call yourself a centrist. It doesn't matter if you call yourself left, right, center. It doesn't matter. We we are like me and my brother when we were kids, fighting over a two-wheel tricycle and not understanding that a tricycle needs three wheels and there's only two. Get it? Hopefully you do.